everybody, welcome to the Gen X Muse YouTube channel. For now, I'm going to do something rather typical. I'm just going to show you my record collection. It's a good record collection, I think you'll like it. This is just going to be the Monkees, alright? This is going to be the Monkees LPs for now. There's an EP in there too. But this is the LPs, so let's start with those. Here we go. The self-titled album, okay? This is the Run Out Groove record, or pressing rather, of the first self-titled album. And it has bonuses on it too. Sounds really good. You might know a little bit about those releases. They were cut from the original masters, I believe. And this is the original stereo on Cold Gems. This is the original mono pressing on Cold Gems. This one actually have the record inside. This is probably the way you should be storing your records, putting it on the outside of the cover. I don't have it on every one, but I probably should do that on all of them. And of course, this is the More of the Monkees album, the Run Out Groove pressing of this one. These were limited editions. Of course, this one is on green vinyl. Was this one numbered? I believe it was. Oh, hey. Number 83. By the way, the Run Out Groove for the first, I think that's also number 924. Okay, wow. More of the Monkees, a little rarer, I think. So anyway, and this is the stereo and the mono of this album, More of the Monkees. They sound pretty cool. I love the mono, More of the Monkees, especially the song She. My God, that sounds so awesome in mono. Headquarters. The stereo copy of Headquarters on, of course, the Cold Gems label. This is the mono copy. All originally released in the 1960s, of course. This is the Headquarters sessions, selections from the Headquarters sessions. They didn't release that on vinyl. That was only on CD, and then I think later on they were able to put it on streaming, but this was a vinyl of just a sampler of that collection. And this actually is on Rhino, and it's on red vinyl. I'll show it to you. Here we go. Red vinyl pressing. Pretty good. And it's interesting that what they did for this record is, instead of copying the Cold Gems LP design, they copied the 45 design. Interesting choice, because you would think for like this kind of thing they would have used the LP design. Maybe they weren't able to use the 45 very often, and that might have been why they kind of were like, let's see if we can just put it on one of these one-off things. So that's what they did, I think. And this is the Headquarters stack of tracks, which was on Friday Music on clear vinyl, as a matter of fact. And of course, it's just the backing tracks of the songs, except for Zilch. Zilch is just the separate vocal parts, the Peter, Davey, Mickey, Michael parts that are on. These were all in the sessions, also, by the way. So if you put this together with the selections from the Headquarters sessions, you could almost just kind of make a vinyl copy of that entire collection, but not quite. But yeah, it is interesting that that's also taken from that same set. And this is, of course, what probably would have been the Run Out Groove version of the Headquarters album. It's actually just Rhino. They set it up like that, though. It's a double album with a gatefold and everything. And it has stuff from the box set on sides 3 and 4. But it's the original stereo mix, and I believe it's from the masters. And it sounds pretty good, and it's on red and blue translucent vinyl. So it sounds pretty good. This is, of course, I'll show this to you. This is, of course, Pisces Aquarius. The stereo and the mono. I don't have any later pressings, which I wish I did. I wish I had the turquoise one in mono. They just did a hi-fi or a high def or whatever, that a Rhino repress of that too, that came out at the same time as the 4-disc box set, the Super Deluxe. But I have these, they're good, you know, it's represented well here, but I don't have any international import pressings of it or anything. But we'll get to that when we get to that, I guess, at some point. This is the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees right here. And that's a Rhino pressing from the 80s. Sounds really good, actually. And it's got Valerie with the cold ending. So that's interesting. This is a mono pressing from Australia. True mono. One of several places that they released a true mono pressing of the album besides the US. Only a few countries did. Everywhere else it's just a fold down, but this actually is a true mono from Australia. And it did not break the bank, actually. We got a nice deal on it. And this is the stereo Cold Gems. Really, really good pressing of the album, I think. And this is the Japanese pressing with the OB. And, of course, they reconfigured the song list for this. Valerie starts off the album. Dream World, Antes, Municipal Court, We Were Made for Each Other, Tap Yoga, Tender, Righting Wrongs on side 1. They moved Daydream Believer and they bumped it over to the openings of side 2. Daydream Believer, I'll Be Back Up on My Feet, the poster, P.O. Box 9847, Magnolia Sims, and then Soren Zam. I mean, it kind of works, I guess. I don't know, but that's the Japanese pressing. I rarely come back to it. This is, I believe, Argentina. Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees pressing, and it has different cover, and nothing really special about it other than it's got a nice alternate cover. Although the picture is from like the first season of the Monkees where Mike still has the wool hat on, you know. Other than that, I mean, it's interesting, I guess, you know, it's nice. The Head soundtrack, here we go. Look at that. Mylar cover. Yes, Mylar cover. Really, really nice. And of course, this is the I think the 2019 repress on Rhino with on kind of a silver colored vinyl. Sounds good, actually. It's a really good repress. And Head alternate on Friday Music, and this is just an album full of alternate takes of the songs, or alternate versions of the songs. And there you go. Those are all the head copies that I have, or head adjacent copies. Instant replay. There you go. Just one copy of this. And they had a CD version where they replaced these pictures with different pictures for some reason. I'm not sure why. But this is an interesting. It's kind of a beat up copy. It's a little hissy. Monkees Present. There you go. This is the last album with Michael Nesmith. Last original album with Michael Nesmith as a Monkee, but it's I've always liked this record. It's particularly what's great about this, I think, probably is it's got Listen to the Band. Never Tell a Woman Yes, I think, is a decent song. Not a great song, but it's a decent. I mean, I don't know. I like that song. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people that hate old-timey style songs from rock bands. I mean, you know, I don't know. I think it works. French song, great song on here too, by the way. And the first of many compilations, Monkees' Greatest Hits, Cold Gems album, and there is a version of this where there's pictures underneath here, but this one does not have the pictures, and of course there's the orange back to it. Daydream Believer, Pleasant Valley Sunday, Cuddly Toy, Shades of Grey, Zoran Zam, A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, She, and second side of this, Randy Scouse, Get, I Want to Be Free, I'm a Believer, Valerie, Mary Mary, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone, and Last Train to Clarksville. Last Train to Clarksville closing. Weird. Anyway. And here's Changes. Good copy of Changes. I really enjoy this one. It's sort of It's an album that's not as bad as people say it is. I think probably because it's the last gasp of the Monkees, and it's only 2 Monkees. It doesn't hold up, you know. I've done a solo discussion on this one, so go check that out. It is interesting, even though I probably should have done these in order. I might have to redo some of those episodes. But yeah, this is a really good one, actually. It's not their greatest. I'm never going to say it's their greatest, but it's a little bit better than its reputation would have you believe. Dolenz Jones, Boyce and Hart. Oh my god. It's 2 of the Monkees and Boyce and Hart together, and it's kind of a super group, pop group, sort of. They did this one album, and they did a live album, which was kind of a companion to this, and they even did an accompanying TV special. Whether they were thinking about making a series out of that, I don't know. Maybe they weren't, but it's nice to have that assumption, I guess. Here, let me show you this first. Refocus on the Bell label, the Partridge Family label. But yeah, this is really interesting, especially because what this actually is, this is promotional. This is a promo copy. This really is kind of the greatest hits that came out on Arista. The version of the greatest hits that was is this album. It's the same lineup of songs. Which is so weird that the Monkees theme is considered a greatest hit. And here's the Monkees' greatest hits on Arista. I got it on here too. And I had this on cassette back in the 80s, actually. I also had this one on cassette too. More greatest hits of the Monkees, which is actually a repress, not 1982 pressing, but a repress. I thought I had an original pressing of this also, but I guess I was wrong. And we have Monkeemania, which is a highly respected compilation, because for a long time there were a lot of things on here that you can only get on here. You can get them on other things now, but there was a time where if you wanted to hear Steam Engine, this was the only place you could hear it. You know, it was also the only place you could get Circle Sky, the live version from the movie, from Head. And it also was the only thing that had Love to Love. It's also the only album that featured Going Down, the B-side of Daydream Believer. So, and it had a lot of deep cuts and a lot of album cuts. I mean, seriously. It's a lot of songs. It was 40 songs. 10 songs on each side. So, wow. It's an incredible compilation. It really is. But, you know, I mean, it's a fun compilation. It's just fun to know that somebody took the time out to look out for the Monkees' legacy, and they made a really long compilation of the Monkees, Monkeemania. Great. I love it. So, before we get to the last 2 albums, or the last 3 albums, or last 4 albums, the Missing Links albums were also released on vinyl. Missing Links, just Missing Links. Originally, there was a vinyl of this that came out on Rhino, and it was much shorter. This has the exclusive songs that were only on cassette and CD. This is one that has Apples, Peaches, Bananas, and Pears, If You Have the Time, I Don't Think You Know Me, Carlisle Wheeling, Rosemary, All of Your Toys. Oh, that's right, All of Your Toys released for the first time ever. And, oh wait, no, wrong. I picked out the wrong one. Here it is. Missing Links, Volume 2. There you go. And, of course, this was a great compilation because it had the original Valerie. First time ever that song was released. That recording, at least. Words, the original version of that. Some of Shelley's Blues, Nashville track that Nesmith cut in 68. The original I'll Be Back Up on My Feet. The original Mr. Webster. The original Hold On Girl. The live Circle Sky released for the first time ever in a nice definition, not the taken right off the television copy that's on Monkeemania. But anyway, yes, this is great too. And Volume 3, Missing Links, also on vinyl. And this is, like, I think, actually my favorite. Maybe Volume 2 is my second favorite, but this was my favorite of the Missing Links. And it has not just the TV version of the TV theme song, but also Kellogg's jingle. You know, Kelllo good. Kellogg's best to you. And We'll Be Back in a Minute, which was a bumper that was only used on the Saturday morning run of the series on CBS, which I don't even remember. Oddly enough, we'll be back in a minute, back. Don't forget it. And Through the Looking Glass, the original version of that, I actually prefer that over the one that's on Instant Replay. Yeah, I like a lot of these too. Tear the Top Right Off My Head. An alternate mix of Steam Engine, an alternate mix of Circle Sky, an outtake from the Nashville sessions, How Insensitive, which of course is a Anton Carlos Jobim song. Great song, actually. I love that song. So, what does that leave us with? That leaves us with these. Cool It. Not a great album, I'm not a fan, but hey, it's Pool It. This was the first of the reunion albums. I mean, you know, they reunited a few times. They reunited to do Christmas Is My Time of Year. But this one, it's very 80s. It's a very 80s album. I don't know. And Just Us. Also a disappointment, but this is from the 90s. This is their 90s reunion album. And this is the only one they did with Michael Nesmith and Davy Jones. And Peter Tork. And Mickey. You know, the great thing about Mickey is that he did all of their reunions. And he did all of the albums. It means, like, he's just always there. He's always on. Good Times. Good Times is an album that people really like, and it's well respected. I mean, it's really nice in that the songs are good. I do like the songs that were brought to the project by other people, like from the outside, that are respected, like Andy Partridge, who wrote You Bring the Summer. Ben Gibbard wrote Me and Magdalena. And they got Noel Gallagher and Paul Weller. Noel Gallagher from Oasis and Paul Weller from The Jam and the Style Council wrote this song called Birth of an Accidental Hipster. But it's good, you know, I think. It's a good record. I like it, but, you know, I mean, what's also kind of bogging me down for this is there's no Davey. He's kind of after the, you know, unfortunately it's a post-mortem record for him. Well, the Love to Love track was brought back for this, and they just kind of did new backing vocals for it. They brought back some older songs like Gotta Give It Time, Whatever's Right, you know, that were originally recorded for other projects. Wasn't Born to Follow was originally an outtake from the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, and they got Peter Tork to record it. You know, and it's alright. I like it. It's a decent record. And a companion to this is a little 10-inch called Good Times Plus, which is really interesting. And both of these are on colored vinyl. This one's on like a maroon colored vinyl, I think, or like a kind of a pinkish red. And Good Times is actually on a teal. This one is the Christmas album called Christmas Party on a candy cane colored vinyl. And this one I'm not really extremely happy with. I'm a little bit let down by it. I have, I think, an EP that's adjacent to this, but I mean, it's okay for what it is, I guess. It's not really... It's almost like a Christmas version of Good Times. But it's just not as good as that record. And you know what also bogs these records down from like the last like couple of years or so of the Monkees is that they had to use auto-tune on their vocals, on Mike's vocals, on Peter's vocals. Not so much Mickey, which is good. That tells you something about him. He's got a great voice, but yeah, I don't like the sound. It's like the auto-tune is so obvious you could hear it. You could hear it being used. I mean, it's alright, you know. It is what it is. But anyway, that's my LP Monkees collection, and I'm going to make a separate video where I bring out the singles, because I don't have them right here, right now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it a lot, because I want to do more of these for you, and I really would like to know what you think. If you are going to come at me with good things to say, please come to me on my Instagram, and or, you know, come to my my podcast and leave some comments on there too. So anyway, I appreciate this, and I want to tell you all thank you for checking this out. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Thank you! The Gen X News.